Let's see here. It's a little bit dark. Hello. Hi, everyone. I know it's another impromptu video. So I'll wait a few minutes before I launch into what I wanted to say. I know I just put out a video a couple days ago. I'm sorry if this looks a little blurry. I think my lens might need some cleaning, or I might need a little bit more light in here. I don't really know. But anyway, if you're on there, say hello so that I know that you're there. And make sure you give the video a thumbs up, please. And I don't know, can you guys see me okay? It looks a little grainy on my end. So I'm not exactly sure how it's looking on your end. So you'll have to let me know. It looks clear. Does it look clear? It's okay to talk to me. Just type it down in the chat box, you guys. And make sure you do a thumbs up on the video, please. Because right now I have none, and yet there you are. I can see that you're on here. So what I was going to, thank you. What I was going to mention today, I haven't done a video on this in a long time. I think when I first started my hair journey, I did a video about it. So it's been 4 years, and I haven't really done one since. So it's cold here, by the way, where we are. And as you can see, my hair is twisted, and I haven't, I wore it twisted the last time I was on, but I hadn't done that in a long time because I was trying to get away from manipulating my hair so much. But since I hadn't done it in a while, last week, then I thought I would go ahead and twist it up a little bit. But today, what I wanted to talk to you about, hi, Lorraine. Hi, Runchella. I hope I said that right. Hello, Angela. Hi, Chris. So I wanted to show you guys what I did. My hair is still wet. It's not soaking wet because I didn't just wash it, but I've used this 360 bottle that my husband bought for me, which is really kind of weird because when it sprays a mist, right? It's not like a regular pump bottle where you squeeze the handle and you get a stream. You don't get a stream on this, you get a mist. You see that? So it sprays for, and I don't dislike it. It just took me a little while to get used to it. So anyway, so I wanted to talk today a little while about removing dead shed hair properly from your hair, or at least the way I do it. I think it's the proper way to do it. And so hopefully, you can use this tip and trick for your own hair, and it'll help you get through your hair management a lot quicker. So first of all, what I did was I refreshed my hair because I had just freshly washed it a couple days ago. And because we're running the propane here in the RV, running the heat, it's kind of weird because propane puts moisture in the air, but it's also dry. So, because it's heat, right? So I had to refresh my hair. I needed to get some moisture into it. And I used my 360 bottle to do that. And then I just took out each section And I'm going to demonstrate on one section. I'll tell you first what I did and then I'll show you. But I just took out each section. I started in the back, um, back here, and I took the rest of my hair and just pulled it up and put it in a scrunchie so it wouldn't be in the way. Because, you know, sometimes when you're trying to work in sections like that and you're trying to comb one section, then the rest of your hair can get caught in it and then it gets tangled up and yada yada. So I pulled all my hair up except for the section, the very back from ear to ear, back here, pulled it up on top of my head to keep it out of the way. Then I used my spray bottle on that section back there, and I took my hands and rubbed it through. I just kept rubbing the water through until I could tell that it was taking up water, because your hair can be wet and not be moisturized. Okay. Meaning, if you already have product on your hair and you're putting water on it, it's going to take a few minutes for the water to go through or to penetrate to the core of your hair. Depending on how much product you have on your hair, you may not be able to refresh it. You just need to wash it and get the product off. But anyway, that's what I did. So I had the rest of it pinned up, and then I took the spray bottle. I sprayed the back part at the nape of the neck is what I did. And then I used this time. Now this is really like my kind of go-to thing. This is Cantu. I like this. It really works better on my hair than Natural 85 or even Shea Moisture. This really works. It's the right consistency for my hair. I have high porosity hair, so it works really well. Just this one though, the one with the argan oil, not the regular kind. The regular kind has an alcohol in it that dries my hair, and I'm really sorry if you guys heard my heater just came on, is making a racket in the background. So this is a leave-in conditioner. So after I wet the nape of my neck, then I took a little bit of this, about a quarter size, I guess it took to do the whole back of my nape of my neck. Hi, Tanya. And so I smoothed that in, and I kept raking it and raking it and raking it, but I was concentrating also on the ends of my hair, because that's the oldest part of your hair and it tends to get the driest, right? At least mine does. So I did that. And then after I did that, I did use a little bit of Natural 85's melanin multi-purpose oil. Okay. Now, this is where I got the hair out. After I raked it through my hair, then I took a wide tooth comb like this one, very wide tooth, and combed it. This is really to me like a detangling comb. So I started with my fingers, just raking it through with my fingers. And then I used the wide tooth comb. After I used the wide tooth comb, I went to a smaller comb. Now, if you look at this, you can see that this side, the teeth are farther apart than on this side. So, and these combs come in all different colors and stuff. You can just find them at a regular beauty supply store. So after I used the wide tooth detangling comb, then I used this comb, the widest end, and I combed through starting at the root, right? And so some hair came out, right? When no more hair was coming out from that, then I moved to this end of the comb. So really you're using like three different combs that have three different widths of teeth on them. One was for detangling. This side was for getting out, you know, the large amounts of shed hair. And this is for getting out the finer bits of shed hair. So that's what I did. So now I'm going to take this one out just to show you what I did. So this is, and the reason I started there is because it's already detangled. But really, you know, if you're going to detangle, you start at the bottom and work your way up till you get to the root, right? So this is what I did. I used the wide tooth comb to detangle. Now, nothing's going to come out, you guys, because I've already done it, but I just wanted to show you. Okay, so after I got finished with that comb, then I took this comb with the widest end, and I started at the bottom and worked my way to the top till I got to my scalp. You want to make sure you get to the scalp, especially if you sweat in your head at night or during the day, you had hot flashes or whatever. It can get tangled at the root. So a lot of times we focus on detangling the ends, but if it's tangled at the root, you're going to lose some hair. I mean, you're going to mess your hair up. So then after I did that, I moved to the smallest end of the comb, and I just went back right back to the root and came through like that. And I think I don't have it right now, but I'm just going to put a tiny bit of water on the end here. But anyway, so that's what I did, because it had been a while, and I kept doing this, pressing the water through, and make sure you go all the way to the end, because that's probably going to be the driest part of your hair, because it's the oldest part of your hair. And then I just did a 2-strand twist. I just parted it and twisted it like this until I got to the very end. And so the reason that I'm doing this in the front, you guys, is because I don't have and don't intend to get fancy camera equipment to do hair videos. I'm just not going to do it. So anyway, so there you go. That's what I did. I just started in the back. I worked my way all the way until I got to the front, and I used this to keep the hair that I wasn't working on out of the way, so that it doesn't get caught up in the comb and rip and tear and all that. And I hadn't combed my hair in a few days. I guess, I don't know, 4 days, 3 days. And that's the other thing, right? You have to be careful that your hair doesn't lock up unless you're trying to get locks, right? If you're trying to get locks, then you won't be doing any of this. You won't be doing any of this. But I didn't want my hair to lock up. And after about 3 days, my hair will start to lock. It'll start getting fuzzy. And then those loose hairs that have come out of the braids will start to wrap around itself. And that's how you get locks, right? If that's what you're after, then you don't want to comb it and take it out and all that. But I don't want locks. And so I have to make sure that I take my hair out. If I do 2-strand twist or any kind of anything where my hair is twisted or braided, I have to make sure that my hair is out by the 3rd day, or it's going to be very tangled and very hard for me to get it out without breaking my hair. So anyway, I just wanted to show you guys. Now, make sure you go and give this video a thumbs up, because I'm looking at who's on here, and I'm looking at the thumbs up, and the numbers aren't matching. So anyway, so I'm so sorry that it's grainy. It's very, very overcast here, and I don't have a light set up. Let me see if I can get the light moved up. I'm trying to get my husband's attention. Can you turn this light on? Because they are saying that it's grainy. They can see me, but it's grainy.
Let's give this a try.
Is that better? Hi, JC. Let me know if that's better. It's very overcast outside, and so light is a bit of a challenge right now.
Do you want your light?
You guys say something. No, I'm waiting for somebody to tell me if it's better. Nobody's saying anything. I don't know what's going on. Oh my gosh. Thank you. It was an easy question, you guys. Wasn't a trick about that. If you're going to high beat jumper, thank you. I'm glad it's much better. Normally, where our RV is sitting, we don't have like shade. And normally the lighting, if I did a video in here or a live stream in here, it would be fine. But it is the weather changed on us very suddenly. It's headed for below freezing and it's very gray outside. So I just have to use more lights in here. Anyway, and I'm wearing double clothes because it's cold. I don't like the cold. Why, Elizabeth? Oh, really? She said she saw me fine before. See, it looked grainy on my side, so I didn't know what you guys were seeing. And plus, because I was messing with my hair and I had oil on my hands, and then I was messing with the computer, I was wondering if the lens may have a little oil on it or something. But, anyways, so it's just that simple, you guys. You have to make sure that you get the shed hair out because it will cause your hair to lock up. And if you're not going for locks, that's a mess. I mean, you really you don't want that because it'll be tangled and oh, your hair will be snapping while you're trying to even if you're combing on the ends, you're trying to detangle with a wide tooth comb on the ends. If it's locked up, and when I say locked up, what I mean is, let's say you have a strand like this, but you haven't combed it or detangled it or refreshed it or anything in 5 days, then the hair that gets loose over time, it's going to go somewhere because our hair naturally draws, right? So it's going to start curling around itself or other little pieces that are out, and then you end up with this um, almost like a natural netting starts to form over your hair. And if you've ever seen up close dreadlocks and stuff like that, then you'll know what I mean. It's almost like it almost becomes one solid piece. And so the beginnings of that is don't comb your hair and just let it do what it's going to do, and it will lock on you. So if you have my type hair, which is like um, I don't know, but I've been trying to figure that out for 4 years. Um, Thank you. B Jumper says, I love your hair.
Me too.
What do you recommend for fine, porous hair to prevent breakage? Well, my hair is fine and it is porous, meaning it's high porosity. And what I recommend is exactly what I use. Now, here's the thing though. Uh, some of it has to do with what you can tolerate. Some people, they can't use the stuff that I do. Um, first you have to make sure you're not going to have an allergic reaction to something. But what I recommend for fine porous hair is a medium weight cream and oil, and penetrate. You need penetrating oils. Um, Coconut oil works great for my hair. I didn't use it this time, but coconut oil works great for my hair, and the reason that it does is because when it melts, it will solidify again, provided the room that you're sitting in or the house that you're in isn't above 76 degrees, right? Because coconut oil will melt at 76 degrees and then you'll have a meltdown. But it works fine for me. It fills in the holes. um, I try to avoid coconut oil in the summertime just because of that. If I'm going to be outside a lot, well, I'm just going to have a mess. It's just going to be running. If I'm going to be in the house most of the time and I have the air conditioner on, which I keep it at 70 all year long, I try to keep it right around 70 degrees, then it works fine for me. I just didn't use it this time. Um, so I recommend a medium weight oil, something like Cantu or a cream or a butter. If you make your own hair butter, shea butter, but you have to mix the shea butter with something because it'll be too heavy by itself. And it's really a balancing act because you don't want to put something on your hair no matter what type of hair you have, that's too heavy. And the reason I say that is because when your hair uses up the amount of moisture that you put in it, and moisture does not come from oil, it comes from water. Okay, it comes from liquid water. It does not come from oil. Oil and water don't mix, remember? So you can't moisturize your hair with oil. You can lubricate your hair with oil, but you cannot moisturize your hair with any kind of oil. Okay, so if you buy a product water base and it has oil in it, that's different, right? Because the base of it is water, and the oil has probably been fractionated or produced in such a way that it's emulsified. It works with the water. Okay, if that makes sense. So, and I'm not a scientist. I'm just trying to give you my understanding of it. Thank you, Angela. Hi, Angela. Angela said my makeup is pretty. Thank you very much. Oh, you want me to do a tutorial on makeup? I did that before too, but you know what? I don't really do anything special. Um, I think it's the color of lipsticks that I use sometimes that enhances my face. So I could do one, but we got to find what works for us. And I'm finding that as I'm getting older, no matter what I do, I look tired around my eyes, right? I think it's because I'm getting older and I'm tired around my eyes. But anyway, uh, so hi Gail. Oh, you're welcome. Sandy 7, hello. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, so that's what I recommend that you moisturize it with water or a water-based product. And when I say that, what I mean is when you look at the ingredients list, the first ingredient should be water. That means that's mostly what the product is made with, right? You don't want to look on here and the first thing on here is beeswax or something weird like that. I don't put wax in my hair, but some people do. God bless you, whatever. I don't put no wax in my hair. And you don't want to put it on too heavy, like I said, because once your hair uses up the moisture that you put on it and sealed it in with something really heavy, you're going to have to wash your hair all over again to get that product out of your hair in order to get more water back in, right? So unless you want to be doing that 2 or 3 times a week and your hair is high porosity, yeah, you don't want to put something real heavy. Just use something light and so or medium weight for high porosity hair, and water based. And then you're going to, and you'll seal it with a medium weight oil or cream. And this is what I use. Like I say, can too, with argan oil. That's what I use. Hi, Elizabeth. Yes, my hair it has grown, but now you gotta keep in mind that it's still a little bit damp, so it's still a little bit loose. And I trimmed it um, a little bit on my birthday, which was January 12th, and it feels like I do have these little. I don't know if you might not be able to see that. Nah, you can't really see. Let me see if I can do it like this. You might be able to see that. But when you look at the end, it has this little scraggly piece. That's what I'm going to cut off. If I have 1 or 2 pieces that are just longer, by half an inch or quarter inch or something like that than the rest of my hair, I just snip it off, because I want my hair to be not completely even, but somewhat uniform. So it's coming okay. My husband, I asked him yesterday or day before, where did my hair stop? And he took this center piece in the back, and pulled it down, and it stopped at the middle of my back. So that's okay. But like I told you guys before, I think it might be a genetic thing because my hair gets to right above my boob, and then that's it. Right then it's time for me to start clipping it. And like I just mentioned, it's time for me to clip a little bit off. So The other thing is I don't put heat on my hair. I haven't put heat on my hair in a long, long time, not even to trim it. Now, I know some people do, and they say, they get it silk pressed, um, so that it's so that it's absolutely straight when their beautician goes to trim it. And I get it. I understand the principle behind that, and I understand the reasoning behind that. But I also know that some people can walk away with heat damage, and I'm not willing to roll the dice because I feel like I've put too much money on products and time, and watched way too many videos on how to take care of my hair for me to roll the dice, put heat on it, and then come away with heat damage and have to cut it all off and start over. I don't want to do that. It's not to say that that would happen, but I know that it could happen, and I'm just not willing to take the chance, so I don't put heat on my hair at all. So, yes, dusting, that's what they call it. When you're just snipping little bits off the end, it does help. Now, I don't always, sometimes when I snip it off, it is twisted like this, and other times I'll have it sectioned like this, but then I'll take each section out. Let me try this. Let me do this one again because it's in the front where you can see it. Um, if I take this one out, for example, this piece, so I'll show you what I mean when I say it needs to be trimmed a bit. I'm gonna use my phone as a backdrop so that you can see because my hair is white. So if I come down like this, you see them little pieces? The little pieces right there, that's what I would trim off. That's it. That's all I would do. So that's like a 1/4 inch or whatever. Um, I would just take some shears and hair scissors and cut it off. And I would do each section. So I'm not concerned about my hair being even all the way around. If I was going to wear my hair in a silk press, if I was going to wear my hair in a silk press, then that would matter to me because, I wouldn't want it obviously uneven. But because when it's in its natural state, it draws anyway, you can manipulate it where it doesn't look like it's uneven. And then cutting off a 1/4 inch or 1/8 of an inch of your hair is not very noticeable with the naked eye, when it's out, or if it's put in some other kind of style and it's in its natural state, you really can't tell. So, does anybody have any questions about how to get the shed hair out of your hair? Shed hair, shed hair. So just remember that, make sure you moisturize it first to make it easier to comb through. And also make sure that when you spray the water, you're not just spraying it um, on the shaft of the hair, but you have to make sure that you get the root too, because you have to soften it. The water helps to relax the hair so that you can get a comb through, right? So if it's tangled at the root because you haven't been combing it or tending to it, you're going to have to put moisture in it in order to get it to relax. It doesn't tear, it's relaxed, and the comb should come through a lot more easy. So, yes, I know. Elizabeth said, "I'm what's known as naturally curly. It's hard to have even ends." Oh, I know. Um, and that's why I'm saying, if you use your hands as a guide and you pay attention to your ends and you go to where you want to go to, right? And then just cut it off to where it looks the most even. That's what I would do. But you're right that when your hair is very curly, see, my hair on the ends is not that curly. It's more wiry. When it gets kind of wiry, then I know that it's dry and it needs to be clipped off. And no amount of water is going to, save it. So Gail says, I have that problem. My hair was always tangled. I lost a lot of hair. I'm ready to do the don't chop it off. Don't chop it off. Don't chop it off. Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, I guess if you just have to, but yeah, don't do that. Try to work with it. And like I said, when you go to moisturize, don't just spray the ends or the hair shaft. Make sure you're spraying at the root to soften it. Use your fingers, rake through very gently, and then go back with the wide tooth comb, and then a smaller tooth comb, and then a smaller, even smaller tooth comb, and comb through the roots. And then that way, you can get rid of those tangles without having to chop your hair off. So don't cut it off. Oh no. Oh my gosh. I never did a big chop. I did a medium chop, because I decided to transition first. And so I was transitioning for a year. And I used my birthday as my target date because I know I'd remember that, right? And so when I got to the first year, my first year anniversary transitioning, I still had like about 6 inches of processed hair that I needed to get rid of, but I didn't want to cut off 6 inches of my hair. So I cut off an inch and then I'd wait like 3 or 4 months. Then I cut off like a quarter inch and then I'd wait again, 3 or 4 months and cut off another quarter inch because my hair was growing at a rate of about a quarter inch every month, about that. So it's almost like taking 2 steps forward, 1 step backwards, 2 steps forward, 1 step backwards. So till I eventually got to where I wasn't seeing any processed hair, but that took about, I'd say a good 3 years. I just kept snipping away a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, because I wanted to retain my limb. So yes, and Elizabeth said keeping it moisturized is a game changer. I lost so much hair trying to comb it. I know, my gosh, I was thinking about when I was younger, and my mother used to use a hot comb on my head. Now I don't know how young some of you guys are on here, but I hope you know what a hot comb is. And it wasn't the electric kind either. That came out a little bit later. My mother had the kind you set it on the burner. And we didn't have an electric stove either. It was a gas stove. And she would set this metal comb on the burner. That thing would get so hot that she couldn't even she would wrap the handle in a towel, like a small towel, to keep from burning her own hand. Now I ask you, what was that doing to my ears? But anyway, my mother and she'd have me locked between her knees, or oh my goodness. And you just sitting there, you're just waiting for the torture to come. Now you'd be looking sharp if you lived through it. But anyway, yeah, my mother used a hot comb on my hair, and my hair came down to past mid back when I was a little girl. And she would keep it. She always wanted to do this like on a Saturday, I guess, so my hair would look nice for Sunday. So after she got finished doing all that, oh lordy, it would take about 3 hours and to comb through my hair because my hair was thick. It was long, but it was thick. Ugh, ugh. And she would put it in sections, but not a lot of sections. What she would actually do was, so my hair would be out in this big afro like thing, and she would take a section, and then she would just take the comb, and do this deal, comb it this way, and then like this, and it would hold the rest of my hair at one piece, right? Meanwhile, the rest of my hair is going, and it's getting tighter and tighter, waiting for her to get to it. And I know the longer this takes, the harder it's going to get for her to comb through my hair. Oh my gosh. I tell you, I think when she got finished, there'd be a small dog on the floor because oh, so, oh my goodness. I didn't do that to my girls. Now, when my girls were young, I would work on their hair on a Friday, or a Saturday. Um, but I used relaxers, unfortunately, in their hair because I was in the military. I ain't had time for that. So I had to hurry up and get a quick fix to dealing with that wool. So anyway, and now both of them are natural and have been natural for years and years, and their hair is beautiful. But anyway, thank you, Carol. Carol says you have beautiful hair. Have you ever colored your hair? And if so, how did you get through? Oh, yes. From the time I was, uh, I would say 15 or 16, I colored my hair natural black. And I just went natural 4 years ago, and I'm 61. So my husband swears I'm 62. I'm sticking with 61. But anyway, and yeah, so I didn't even know my hair except for the memories of my mom combing it and all that. Uh, and getting through the transition, I had some hair pieces that I wore. I did a lot of head wraps, and I just let it grow out. I'm telling you, I just let it grow out, and my hair went through all kinds of crazy colors. It went through crazy colors because the natural black started fading, and it took on this slightly leprechaunish green hue. So I looked like a bit of a Martian. Then it was like a bright green, almost neon. Oh, that was horrifying. And then when the green started disappearing, it went to a very brassy gold color. So during this time, I was just wearing hats, or I wore head wraps, or I would wear. I had a couple of wigs that I would wear, and I haven't done it since. I mean, I haven't worn wigs or anything. I've done head wraps, but I haven't worn wigs since then. And after, and then I started using Shimmer Light shampoo, which is for blonde or gray hair, to help bring out the natural color and get rid of that brassy look that I was dealing with when I was transitioning. So that's what I did. Oh, Lordy. Thank you, Carol. You remember those days? Thank you, Carol. Carol says you have beautiful hair. Have you ever colored? Oh, okay. I just read that. Let's see. Yeah, I didn't. Now, when I was a teenager, I used permanent hair color. And then, let's see, when I went in the military, especially when I was in my training days, I didn't have time to really care for my hair. So I used permanent color then too, because it meant that I didn't have to do my hair but so many times, in a 2 or 3 month period. After I came out, then I had more time and I stopped using permanent hair color and I went to a rinse. And that's what I did for the longest time. Um, oh my gosh. Ronchella says Shimmer Light turned her gray hair purple. You know what? I've heard some people say that. I never had that problem. I had the shampoo, I had the conditioner, but I very rarely used the conditioner. Uh, I didn't use the conditioner at all when I was transitioning, um, because I had heard that, and I was I was afraid maybe if I put too much of this purple on my hair, it's gonna mess me up, right? So I didn't. But the shampoo helped get some of that other coloring out of my hair, I think. So anyway, and the other day, when I did my hair, I did use the conditioner. I very rarely use the Shimmer Lights conditioner, but I did use it the other day. So that's why, the shampoo, it keeps my hair, keeps my gray, keeps the white. Because I don't like it looking brassy or unfresh. Anyway, so you guys, thank you so much for coming on. I said I was going to try to do better about these impromptu things. But then I get these moments when it's like, oh, I want to talk to them about this, right? And then so then here I am. I just show up. But anyway, the good thing is if you're not watching this live, you can watch it later. You just got to give it a few hours for YouTube to upload it. And also, I had mentioned to you all, it was either the end of last year or the beginning of this year that I was going to try to look for another platform to do my videos on because even though YouTube is helping, they're promoting the videos that I do. They're very selective in who they promote. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And so I opened up a channel on Rumble, the same name, and I'm working on trying to figure out the platform and the best setting for the platform. So there's that. So I'm working on that, but I will try to remember when I go back and look through this particular um, video session. I'll try to get the exact address and put it in the description box. And if I don't, somebody remind me. Just. Also, remember that you can email me anytime at my AOL address. It's in the description box. You can email me there with any questions that you have. I've tried to help a lot of people like that excuse me, that write me and have questions about their hair care or whatever. And sometimes it'll help if you can send me a picture, to that address of what you think the problem is. Now, I'm not a trichologist. I did not go to school for cosmetology or trichology or anything like that, but I'll do my best to help you. Um, and I'll tell you what I would do, but now it's completely up to you what you do. That's my disclaimer. I'm not practicing a craft that I don't have professional training in. I'm just telling you what works for me. So you're welcome, Gail. So with that, you guys, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you, Sheila. Thank you for the super chat donation. I appreciate that. Not very many people do that. As a matter of fact, I've been on here for 4 years and only 2 people have ever done that. And you're person number 2. So thank you. I really appreciate that. And listen, if you guys want to do that, help yourself. YouTube does not, I am not an employee of Google, okay, who owns YouTube. I'm not their employee. Google does not send me a big fat check like some other people. I don't know how they work that out, but yeah, this isn't my job. This is something that I do because I just like to do it. That's all. I like hanging out with you guys and talking to you about hair stuff and all that good stuff. And also make sure you visit my other channel, the Christopats. I decided I was going to start making my own hot sauce, right? You guys should have seen me in the kitchen. That was hilarious. My daughter feels like, Mom, if you have to wear a hazmat suit to make pepper sauce, you probably shouldn't eat it. But I had on goggles. Listen, and I had on a mask, a face mask, so I could breathe and not strangle to death. And I was using habaneros. That was crazy. Anyway, I made this habanero pineapple hot sauce. And I made a pineapple habanero chutney. And then I made a pineapple and apple um, hot sauce and chutney, and they turned out really good. So then I made the last one I made was poblano peppers and jalapeno. And what else did I put in there? Can't remember. Well, garlic and stuff like that. But anyway, and I made relish out of that. So I'm not big on hot dogs, but then I made this relish and I'm thinking, what do I eat relish with? So my husband went and bought a pack of hot dogs and I said some hot dog buns. I said, well, I got relish. We might as well eat it on something. So we did that and it was really good. It was really good. Anyway, if you want to know more about that, find me over at the other channel or write me at the email address and I'll tell you what I did. I'm supposed to be showing some other ladies how to do it that they want to start a garden and all that, but they want to know how to make their own hot sauce. So I just watched a bunch of videos, you guys, and I put in it what I wanted to put in it, and there you go. That's what I did. So I've got my own, and it tastes pretty good. So thank you for coming by without any notice whatsoever. I would apologize, but chances are I'll probably do it again. So I ain't gonna say I'm sorry because then y'all will say she ain't sorry, she did it again. So I ain't gonna say I'm sorry. It was good to see you. Well, not really see you, but you know what I mean. It was good to see you in the in the chat section. And I will see you guys the next time I come on. Make sure you take care of that crown and keep it natural. And I'll see you when I come back. Bye.